Alright, I'm officially live. Ready.
So my little sister's always on her phone. So when she wasn't looking, I secretly figured out her phone password, and I'm gonna put them on donuts and get her reaction.
Hey.
Made you donuts.
Thank you. How do you know my phone password?
Dude, it's literally my birthday.
Did you post something on my Snapchat story? You guys my crush? Yeah, what?
So much.
What actually happens to people who got lobotomies? Well, unfortunately, there's before and after.
Anyway, yo, what's good, chat? How y'all feeling today? I'm feeling blessed. Back was more of me playing The Walking Dead Season 4, which is not necessarily a typical playthrough. Yeah, man, I had a great moment last time. Excuse me, yesterday. What the fuck last time? My bad. It took quite for me to process. I meant to mention last time. Okay, I'm gonna continue and then, there is something I want to mention as well, and I was quite pissed yesterday when I overall did this research. If it takes me to that part, it's all good. I figured... Oh, I gotta turn the music off. It's gonna make me very stressed and anxious. And I put it at exactly number 5, considering the fact that, like, my left ear was, like, wasn't able to hear much. So apparently I did research, and I mentioned... Let me read it. Hold on, let me find it. Actually, add it to my photos. Okay. So I mentioned... Oh, apparently it didn't show the full, like... Hold up. Because I mentioned, if I were to create GT7, could I possibly add teenage characters or kid characters that are mentally mature within the storyline? Meaning, like, those who are temporarily physically a kid/child within their mortal body, but going through puberty, like 8 or 9. And those who are temporarily physically an adolescent within their mortal body, but a teenager. Or preteen, it could be, like, from 10 to 12 or 13 to something. Because Jimmy and Tracy were teenagers, meaning they were within the teenage phase, so... Like, I mentioned what's in the storyline, and it mentioned... I'm gonna read this in the picture, because I actually screenshotted it. Because what if it's different? I don't necessarily want to reread, because I'll be like, ugh. So I mentioned, if I were to create GT7, could I possibly add teenage... Yeah, it's the same research. And it mentions, and I'm actually gonna read it the way I'm gonna read it. So it mentioned associating younger characters within GT5, or excuse me, Grand Theft Auto games. So it mentioned including underage, so meaning that person under that person age. That is what I call arrogant, because you're making them weaker mentally compared to the older individuals who are 18 plus. And I've mentioned I'm going to remove that 18 plus shit, because you can't assume that the individual is mentally mature / mentally an adult at 18. And you can't assume that they have the legal responsibility within that age. I feel like 7 plus, because when you're at that age and beyond, you're like, oh, mentally mature. Because I was mentally mature when I was 7, and I played The Walking Dead Season 1 when I was 7. Because I'm pretty sure I played it... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played it during 2012. And then I constantly started playing, like... So I played a demo at exactly 7 years old. Because obviously it released 2012. Unless I play when I was 6 years old. I mean, you know me, my brain is huge. Some people can't even play it. Their parents wouldn't even let. Because I was playing Resident Evil And then my dad caught me playing it, so that's how he knew I was playing an M-rated game. So then my parents were like, you know what, we're gonna take every M-rated game away from him. We feel that it's gonna corrupt his mind, and they thought they made a mistake. They didn't make a mistake. I knew how to play it. Okay, when I played Call of Duty back then, I was like going according to the game. I was just enjoying. I just like to kill in the game, but it was more like explaining about like wars and shit. And that's what I mentioned to myself. Oh, okay. But I'm gonna read the words. Okay, I'm actually gonna read it. Okay, I'm gonna read it the way it mentioned, and then I'm gonna read it the way I'm gonna read it. Okay. So it mentioned, including under. Okay, you know what? I'm actually okay. You know what? I'm gonna read it the way I want to read it. Associating younger characters within Grand Theft Auto game, especially with the caveat of being mentally mature, would be highly, and I'm going to read the words that I want to consider reading, would be highly controversial and is extremely unlikely due to a combination of industry-wide practices, content rating rules, and ethical and legal concerns surrounding the depictions of younger individuals within violent situations. It mentioned the word minor, and when I did research, it means. I'm actually gonna ask Siri. Hey Siri, what's the definition of the word minor? Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hello? Hey Siri. Are you fucking kidding me? I'll read that part afterwards. I actually screenshotted. Within violent situation. Yeah, they actually could. Anybody can be in violent situation. Even I can't, because being a violent individual is I'm not a pacifist. I mean, like, don't do it out of murder. Do it out of self-defense. But in this game, I feel like it's more like self-defense because they've explained the storyline. So here are the key factors that would make this an unfeasible and problematic idea. Uh-huh. Aren't Jimmy and Tracy was in their teenage phase? Yeah, so I bet they were like both 16. Well, actually, Jimmy looks like he's 14 and Tracy's like 16. And she feels like I can be on porno. I mean, any age you could, but I'm saying like there's no laws in that game, so. Rockstar established a precedent in game design. Rockstar game has a okay, before I read that. So it mentioned content rating rules. I'm actually gonna change it to just rated M, meaning you gotta be mentally mature. 17 plus, remove that shit. Why can't they put 18 plus, huh? So you're assuming that people who are 17 are mentally mature as well, and then 18 in terms of legal aspects, like full legal responsibility. People have full responsibility whether legally or because legal is a term that's a synonym of righteous, meaning you have full righteous responsibility, meaning you're able to understand. You can't assume that they're 18 or assuming that they're mentally mature / mentally an adult. Or adulthood, meaning you are officially mentally mature regardless. I feel like 7 years old, like when you're that age and beyond. So 7 plus is like the reasonable age. Because that's when your brain has enlarged enough where it made plenty of room for plenty of your neurons, especially the prefrontal cortex and plenty of the, within that range. Especially the orbital frontal cortex, which is above your orbits, or your orbital part. It's that part of your skull that locks in your eyes, where it keeps them in place. At certain times, your eyes can be shifted, and it has nothing to do with that. It's more like people think it's genetics, but you gotta understand the truth. And I mentioned the ethical, which means something moral, which means wrong, not necessarily wrong. And then legal, meaning some righteous concern, something that doesn't seem righteous, and there should be legal concerns. I don't necessarily like that. I don't necessarily. The games are moderate, and they're like making it restricted. That is stupid. Like very, very stupid. Anyway, so it mentions that Rockstar Games has a firm, long-standing rule of not necessarily of not associating child NPCs that the players can interact with within their games. Why? Because he's thinking murdering younger individuals is more severe compared to older people? I feel like humans overall, whether they are temporarily, physically a kid / child within their mortal body, or temporarily, physically an adolescent within their mortal body, 10 plus, meaning beyond that age. Like from that age to beyond that, all the way to your hundreds or to your thousands. Regardless, you can't murder anybody. And they think that it's severe to those individuals who are child or kids, like temporarily physically a kid / child within a mortal body. Like, just don't hurt them. And plus, there's self-defense within the game. But it mentions interacting with them. I'm quite curious. Like the dialogue, okay, like as long as they're mentally mature. What if they're 7+ and they have no, and they're not like the character, they're just non-playable characters. You can't play with them. NPCs are like people you witness in real life, you know, but you can like interact with them without them, you know. That's like an NPC or like an acquaintance. GTA Universe. Within the lore of the GTA Universe, it's typically often implied or explained, though fan theories, that children are simply absent or are in places like boarding schools. That is actually stupid. So what about The Walking Dead? They have kid characters in GTA, and it involves killing. So what about GTA? It can't be like that as well? Oh, stealing cars, being thieves. Like, geez. And plus, Clem drove one in Season 2, so... Well, she just drove one to escape. She didn't, like, learn how until she was, like, 13. Which, hey, that would be more reasonable compared to 14, but either way, it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, as long as she knows how to drive and can actually drive. Like, 13+. Excuse me, chat. I have to cool my brain. So, yawning. Preventing controversies. This practice is deliberate choice to prevent the extreme backlash and potential legal trouble that would arise from depicting violence against children. And I'm just going to use those words. I'm not going to constantly use temporarily, physically, a kid / child within a mortal body. You know what I'm referring to. It's referring to them. And it's stupid. Handling of teenage characters. Jimmy and Tracy were. But anyway, it's going to explain. The series has associated teenage characters before, like Michael's children and children mean like his own like kids, biological. Michael's children in GT5, but they are specifically part of the story, not freely roaming NPCs. Okay, you can have NPCs. Oh, because you don't want to kill them. Okay, it's just part of the game. It's not like we're gonna kill humans in real life, whether they are children or adolescents, younger or older, like me. Like I'm older, like I'm 20 years old chronologically, but I don't age. I mean, like those who have lived longer and have been done with puberty know that, and could age, because 20 is when people start aging. But I have never aged. I'm pretty sure like a curse. Oops, took me off of my photo. Hold up. Okay, there you go. I found it. But yeah, those who are temporarily physically a kid / child within a mortal body, or those who are temporarily physically an adolescent within a mortal body, whether they're younger, like preteen, or teenagers, or prime adolescents like me, like you remain as an adolescent. I'm not going to use the word adult. I've already explained that term. That refers to mentality, not physicality. I've already explained it in my recent live stream, so it's all good. I actually love being done with puberty, but I hate puberty from the get-go, you know, from the start. But anyway, it mentions... But not freely roaming NPCs, players cannot harm these characters, reinforcing the rule against violence towards younger individuals. I'm not gonna use the word minor, that's stupid. Hey Siri! Yeah, my Siri's not actually working. I'm gonna show that picture afterwards. Alright, industry, content ratings, and sales impact. Associating killable or criminal younger characters, that's what I'm gonna use, younger characters, would make it nearly impossible for the game to be sold through major retailers and console platforms. Adults only, meaning you have to be 7+. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna possibly use for adult only, not the 18+ shit. Cause that's gonna be removed once I am a vice president, and I'll be like a House of Speaker and the federal leader of the Senate. I was gonna mention to my coworker, and he's in his 50s. I'm not gonna mention. Okay, I'm gonna mention. He's not the type of person who would watch YouTube. He is 52, and his name is Kurt. That's all I'm gonna mention, chat. And hey, mentioning people's age is not personal. Potentially, people are gonna know everybody's age once the final judgment occur, or what's in the future. You never know. And obviously, YouTube's gonna keep it private. What I specifically mentioned about Jack, not really, because Jack's my homie. What if he watches it? He's like, "Hey, trying to speak some facts about me? I see you, bro." Not too much though. It depends on what he wants to keep personal for certain reasons. If there's a reason towards it righteously and not sinfully, you know. So apparently, yeah, I'm gonna remove the 18+, because you can't assume that the person is mentally mature / mentally an adult while 18, or having legal responsibility, meaning it's righteous and reasonable, or seem righteous and not sinful to have those responsibility legally, or just responsibility overall, or that they assume that you're mentally mature / mentally an adult, or reach adulthood, meaning they think or assume that you are officially within the adulthood phase, meaning you're officially mentally mature / mentally an adult. 18 plus, like that age and beyond, not really. Just like for alcohol, it shouldn't be 21 plus. For alcohol, would possibly be 12 plus, meaning as you go through puberty, or whenever you go through puberty. Or if you're 8 or 9, it could be like an exception, but I'll say like 10 or 11 or 12, where it would make an exception for like alcohol. But to officially be part of the adulthood, or officially mentally mature / mentally an adult, or being able to be responsible, like, you're having full legal responsibility or whatever. I feel like that's when it's like, hold up. Oh, never mind. My sister's arguing with my mom. Every fucking life. And I'm possibly gonna do this commotion because she is going through mood swings, and I hate it. When someone goes through mood swings, they have a demon within them. I have mood swings, which is specifically associated with my stress and anxiety, which is that specifically associated with my traumatic situation. Do I have water? Oh, I definitely do. I love water. I'm gonna fill it afterwards. But yeah, that's when you can have legal responsibility, or meaning it's righteous, meaning it's not sinful. Because if you allow a 5-year-old, they will not understand, and it's actually sinful because you're exploiting them because they have no choice until you're 7. And people think that when you're 7 you don't, but I knew how to play The Walking Dead, and I downloaded it. And my dad didn't care, like, how did it occur there. He's like, I didn't download that game. Because, if I was a dad, I'll be a smartass. But I'll allow my kids to play it. If they're 6 and they want to play and they understand that there's blood, violence, not really sex. I feel like GTA, because it's more of like a reality. Walking Dead focus more on... I mean, they can have that talk. I feel like Season 5 or beyond that, it's going to... Like, Season 5 plus. Like, plus that season and beyond is where sex can occur. Because I feel like if it's M-rated, meaning you're mentally mature, you can handle it. Just like WWE, if you want to have sex. If you're a wrestler and... You gotta go through puberty. That's when they can allow it. But to be in the audience to watch it, I would say 7 plus. Meaning, like, they can't bring toddlers. So I feel like 7 plus will seem reasonable to be an audience. Because they bring babies there, and I'm like, that is actually very... Yeah, they have the headphones, but what if they can hear the fireworks? What if they witness sexual activity or nudity? Or explit? Explit means, like... revealing, very revealing, meaning you're able to understand it. Because my mom was playing a song, well, it automatically occurred, and it was called "Don't" by Bryson or Bryson type, whatever his name is. You know who I'm referring to? That guy who's like singing a love song, like sexual, or that he wants that pussy, So, but yeah, AO or adult only. I feel like it should just possibly be like M-rated, because adults only, yeah, 7 plus as well, like in the future. Well, unfortunately 18 plus, but I mentioned I'm gonna remove that shit. Hold on, let me see what my girl wants me to mention. Yeah. And she mentioned she's gonna wear it temporarily, or goes to full, or wear it if she overall visits Michigan, despite us hating that state. If we visit here overall, or wear it until she moves out. Okay, I'm gonna go back because she wanted me. So apparently my girl wants. She mentioned she's mentioned to my second wife, because I have a second wife. Her name is Megan, obviously. She was mentioned to her, like, my husband, a.k.a. me, wanted to watch me change, and I'm like, shit, why not? But hey, when she moves out, because I'm pretty sure she didn't want to get caught. I mean, shit, who cares? Not like they're gonna care. But yeah, so it says adults only rating. The presence of child characters who can be harmed would likely cause the game to receive an adults only 18 plus rating from the ESRB in North America and a similar rating in other regions. Yeah, like I mentioned, I'm gonna remove the 18 plus because you can't assume that they are mentally mature / mentally an adult, which means adulthood, like you're officially, mentally mature / mentally an adult, or assuming that that's when they're able to have responsibility or being able to be independent, or legal responsibility, meaning something that involves you that seems righteous because they're not exploiting you. They know that you understand. Like, why would you assume it's 18? I mean, I knew how to vape when I was 18 and knew how to drink when I was 16. And apparently, my friend, her name is Jade, mentioned, I have to be old enough to have my own vape from my parents. And I'm like, you vaped yourself and you knew how to vape, so, like, what's the point of, because she actually vaped last night. I was like, oh my gosh, and she's 18. Like, I feel like vaping should be, like, 12 plus. Like, even younger. People raise it to 21 because they assume, like, oh, they won't focus at school. Actually, I vaped, and I was at a school, not in high school, but the place where I volunteered at. Hello, I was responsible. I wasn't like, yeah, people go in the bathroom because they don't get caught. Well, I mean, it seems reasonable to do in the bathroom because what if someone's allergic? I mean, none of the guys were allergic, so it's great. I mean, it's rare to be allergic to vapor. It's clouds, but it's the nicotine or something that is what a person is allergic to. Like, if they vaped it, or if they, like, if it was, like, secondhand vaping, or vapor, or smoking. Yeah, it's not gonna harm them. Plus, it's in a game. If it was in real life, like, geez, they're human beings. I mean, anybody could have self-defense or be in violence. In terms of sin, like, whether you are temporarily physically a kid / child within a mortal body, or temporarily physically an adolescent within a mortal body, whether you're like a tween, like between 10 and 12, or teenagers 13 to 19, or beyond that, that's in terms of violence. But violence is a sin. I feel like it's more self-defense, and they're thinking that it harms them if it's like self-defense. Like, that's stupid. Financial failure. The AO rating is commercially toxic, as majority of the retailers like Walmart and Target and all major console manufacturers, PlayStation, Xbox, refuse to carry AO. Oh yeah, because if it's AO, like, you can't make an exception for 5 or 6 because even if they may understand, they think like, oh, you got to be 7 plus. Well, if that changes in the future, like, how for now you can't make an exception for a 17 or 16-year-old or whatever, for 18 for now, which that's gonna be removed once I'm vice president and House of Speaker and a federal leader of the Senate. I feel like AO shouldn't be a thing, even when 7 plus occurs, Because 7 plus, you don't assume you know for sure that you are mentally mature / mentally an adult. That's adulthood, and being able to have the responsibility and be independent. Even though you're not able to develop muscles unless you start puberty early. Like, so in terms of strength, like if you want to work at McDonald's, it involves strength? Because if you have to carry a McDonald's bag, what if it's a bit heavy? Actually, it's more like cooking because there's certain things that involves you to use your strength. But I feel like there's some things that involve 7 plus, like if you're like doing a drive-through, you're handling a bag. But if it's like you're carrying certain things, then I feel like a 7-year-old wouldn't be a great age. You're mentally mature. You could like be like the assistant and mention that someone. Well, you wouldn't be as tall. You wouldn't be able to see. You would have to use a stool. I feel like 10 or 12 plus. Like, it varies, like, when you start puberty, or 8 or 9, but I feel like that's, like, an exception if they have the growth spurt and the strength, like, the muscles, and they're able to work out at the gym.
Do you want to eat lunch now or later?
What time is it?
Do you want to wait or
Uh,
Mike get call? When will you?
I'll eat whenever.
Oh, okay,
But yeah, AO wouldn't be a thing. But yeah, having responsibility, being independent, and legal responsibility for 7 plus. 18 now. Like, let's say, for example, that it was removed, and what if the person reached 18? They'll be like, wow, that would have, if it weren't to change, then I would have to wait until that age. But it's like a milestone, You could have gotten a new car or whatever. Because, 16, it restricts people to, like, have more people, or, pretty sure because they drink and drive. I mean, people overall shouldn't drink or drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean you should restrict them. Like, I'm pretty sure if I were to drive at 16, I would have understood. But simply because of the restriction, I'm like, damn it. Like, I would have just hung out with my friends. But yeah, they mentioned that a game like GTA will be a financial failure without the access to these markets. Then make it M-rated. Like, okay, who cares if it harms them? Like, if you're a kid, that's just physically. Mentally, though, you're an adult. Because the word adult, like I specifically mentioned on my recent live stream, like mentally mature / mentally an adult is associated with mentality, not physicality. A full-grown adult means you're fully, like, mentally mature, which is, like, 7. Because you are mentally mature right when you're born, but 7 is when you're aware of it, is what it means to be fully grown. Like, I'm a full-grown adult, meaning mentally mature. You're aware. Like, 7 plus, not 18. But for physically, you'll be like, I'm fully developed physically. Like, you're done with puberty. There's no such thing as second puberty. Like... Okay, now, so for number 3, it mentions legal and ethical challenges. The mere depiction of younger individuals in a violent, criminal, and sexualized context brings significant legal and ethical problems. Okay, it's not necessarily wrong, like... Potential legal action. Depictions of violence against younger individuals are often the target of legal action and regulation, even if the younger individuals are fictional. Yeah, it's fictional, but it's self-defense. Even in real life, you have to have self-defense. Like AJ, for example, what if this was real? What if my kid had a gun in the future? That's self-defense, not for murder. I'm hoping murder cannot necessarily be a thing, unless it's going to be rare. Because the sin will remain, but it would just decrease over time in terms of, like, God Almighty Jesus Christ regulating it, you know? But it will be destroyed, like, in thousands of years once the end time occurs. Like, there's no age requirement to be in heaven or hell, like... Or age of accountability, meaning you're able to understand. Well, I would say 7, but that's not like age of accountability. That's like a law type of thing. No, that shit, because that's like Satan's law. God Almighty Jesus Christ's law, he mentioned that as long as they're mentally mature and they understand. But if they're like under 7, if they understand at 5 or 6, then hell would await. But they'll be like 7 automatically, like physically and like mentally, meaning like, you know. I mean, for them, it would be infinitely in terms of, like, their knowledge, like, their IQ. But, like, that doesn't necessarily mean, like, they're not able to have access to hell because that's, like, their punishment if they're, like, a sinner specifically. But less sanctified, lowly sanctified. Less sanctified will just rest in peace, but lowly sanctified and highly sanctified in virtues, like me, because I'm without sins, without mistakes. And very righteous in terms of me being a virtue, like they would have access to heaven. But lowly sanctified, they have an option to choose to rest in peace, and it depending on how much they sin or depending on their level of sin, like how much they could possibly sin or how sinful they are, in terms of them being lowly sanctified, depend on an individual. Ethical boundaries. Gaming studios avoid crossing this ethical line, which is stupid because of, you know, not just for... Hey Siri, what exactly does PR stand for? Preferred stock. Reason, but simply because it is widely seen as a poor taste depicting younger characters. I'm not gonna use underage because that seems arrogant for those individuals under that age, but those that age and above would have access. Like, that's like arrogant, you know. Yeah, depicting younger characters participating in a kind of violent, sinful, and typically crude activities central towards GTA would be viewed by many as unacceptable and exploitive. How exactly is it exploiting? That's like characters in the game. In real life, it would be like self-defense if it's like violent, but out of self-defense. And nothing will be illegal. It wouldn't involve murders or people actually stealing. That you're stealing from other thieves instead of stealing from people who are innocent. And crude activities, well, that's like out of self-defense, not say crude. But it can seem as crude if it's like a reason. Like Trevor had he have a childhood trauma, and Michael have a certain type of mental trauma, like psychological aspects, and Franklin possibly because he was exploited to be like stealing from innocent people when he should have stole from other thieves, you know. Number 4. player perception and mentally mature argument. The idea of mentally mature younger characters would not protect the game from these issues, like those who are temporarily physically a kid/child with an immortal body, or those who are temporarily physically an adolescent with an immortal body, like 10 plus, like beyond the age, whether younger or older, like me, like I'm 20, like chronologically, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily. So imagine it would not protect the game from these issues. Like that's stupid. Like you're not protecting actual humans who are younger, or older. But yeah, in terms of the motherfucking bitch ass current laws, um, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily, like regardless of our chronological age and regardless of our mental maturity, especially the chronological ages I specifically mentioned what's in my recent live streams, despite the age requirement laws being temporarily. Yada, I mean, so. But yeah, player physical appearance. A character's appearance, physical age is what means, or is what matters to censors, retailers, and the public. Well, that's stupid. Like, a 16-year-old chronologically character, no matter how mentally mature the story makes them, would overall still be perceived as a younger individual or a minor. Like, you can't use that term. Thinking that they're weaker or less mentally mature or just mentally immature, which is through Satan, and not necessarily mentally mature through God Almighty Jesus Christ, that's like fucked. Like those who are not necessarily those who are under that age shouldn't necessarily. They think that like those under that age, I didn't mean like shouldn't. I meant like because those under that age can't necessarily have access, but those that age and above could. Like that's like fucked. That's very arrogant and prideful. Like by the looks. Thinking like, oh, they're mentally immature when they're not necessarily. They're mentally immature through God Almighty Jesus Christ, not mentally immature through Satan. And regardless of their chronological age, who cares? No matter how mentally mature, would still be perceived as a younger individual, and their involvement with an extreme violence out of self-defense or sexual situation would cause a firestorm of controversy. As long as you're mentally mature, you're able to have sex, whether for pleasure or pregnancy, like possibly both pleasure and for pregnancy. Possibly in the game is possibly going to be pleasure or pregnancy within future Grand Theft Auto games like Grand Theft Auto 6. Because I want to consider creating GTA 7. Player's choice. Considering the fact GTA is a sandbox game, the player can choose how to act. Rockstar cannot necessarily control how a player would use these characters within the game world, and they would be blamed for any and all depicted violence involving younger individuals regardless of the storyline's intent, which is quite fucked. Within summary, or in summary, while adding an edgy or compelling narrative with younger individuals may seem interesting, it would violate established industry standards and trigger widespread public and commercial rejection. That's fucked. That's like greedy cause for money and arrogant. And then slothful, like they're lazy to debate on it. So arrogant because of that, because they don't want to, the rejection, and slothful, greedy, and then lustful for older individuals and not younger individuals. Well, lust shouldn't be a thing overall. I feel like love for both, like you overall choose older individuals for love, thinking that they would lust over younger individuals. People lust over girls overall, like younger and older. Quite fucked. But anyway, cause I did research on what the word minor means. So ethical means relating to moral principle or the branch of knowledge dealing with these. Ethical issues is nursing morally good or correct. So they think it's wrong. Stupid. Exploitive. Exploitive or exploiting or exploit means to take advantage or benefit, like whether for money, so greed, slothful, being lazy and using them, or thinking that they're mentally, like you assume that they're mentally immature and you want to gain the advantage that they don't necessarily understand, but they're overall mentally mature through God Almighty Jesus Christ and not necessarily mentally immature through Satan, like Lucifer/Satan, but Satan, like the one he is overall at the moment, not Lucifer. I mean, it is Lucifer, but he transitioned to Satan, And a minor, why it's a sin to use that towards younger individuals thinking that they're weaker than older individuals. Like, people are mentally mature through God and my Jesus Christ overall, whether younger or older. Like, whether temporarily, physically a kid/child within a mortal body, or temporarily, physically an adolescent within a mortal body. Like, whether you're, yeah, like 10 plus. Like, whether a preteen, a teenager, or beyond that, like you're older. Like, done with puberty at either 16 or 18. 18 just for physically being developed after puberty for boys, but girls it's like 16 or 17 or whatever. And like I'm chronologically 20. I'm older. I'm like a prime adolescent, meaning adolescents could remain, but there's different stages, And I won't necessarily be my middle age. Like even if you're in your 30s, well, that's actually the middle age chronologically, but I won't like have a more aging feature like physically, because considering the fact I would never age. I mean, I have facial hair and I don't necessarily like it, but I'll possibly trim here and there, even though I prefer shaving, because trimming is like you're lazy. You prefer having parts of the hair just to be prideful, but I'm not prideful. I want people to see through my looks and realize what I actually look like through God and my Jesus Christ. But yeah, a minor would possibly mean like a person under the age of full legal responsibility. Well, that's considered a sin because, like I mentioned, if those individuals, those age, like those under the age, can necessarily have access, but those that age and above have access, which is very arrogant because I feel like young individuals should as well. Like there shouldn't necessarily be a barrier. Like it's very arrogant. Like those below the age can necessarily have access, but those that age and above could. Like that's very arrogant. But it's fucked to refer to someone as a minor. Like that's referring to them as being weak. Lesser in importance, seriousness, or significance. See, that's what I'm referring to. Like you're referring to them as being weaker mentally. You know, like in terms of mental maturity. Because younger individuals and older individuals are over mentally mature.
Oh, yeah. Yee.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I gotta mention. Like you shouldn't necessarily refer to them as a like minor because like you're referring to them as being weaker. Like those below the age aren't able to have access, but those that age and above do, which is very like arrogant. And the 18 plus thing, I'm gonna remove that, and I've already explained that. I'm not gonna necessarily bring it up as much. Not my recent live stream, on my future live stream, because I mentioned my recent live stream, so I'm gonna mention it in this live stream. But my future live stream, I'm not gonna mention it. Just like the shit I explained about just like the adolescent/adult, like that's it's gonna be removed because I've already explained like what the word adult means. It's refer to mentality, not physicality. That's why I use the word adolescent because you know what I'm specifically referring to. But anyway, I already mentioned my recent live stream, but well, so my future live stream, I'm not gonna mention it, especially the 18 plus thing, because the 18 plus thing is gonna potentially be removed and it's gonna be 7 plus, and like the word minor should be removed as well because you can't refer to someone as being weak or mentally assuming that they're mentally immature through Satan when they're overall mentally mature through God Almighty Christ. So I feel like regardless of the chronological age, like despite the age criminal laws being temporarily, despite the age criminal laws being temporarily, yeah, I mean. But anyway, I'm gonna do something for quite a bit. I'm gonna think about something personal real quick, I'm gonna be AFK for quite a bit because I'm possibly gonna eat in quite a bit. I am back, man. I officially got finished having lunch. It's currently 1:42 at the moment, 1:42 p.m. So I used to constantly play late, but I constantly have work and possibly once I have a job, I possibly could, and then when I wake up, actually we'll see because what if I have to wake up very early, Excuse me, chat. Hold up, chat. But yeah, my bad. I was thinking about 60%. Ooh, man, I dropped my phone. Constantly hit this shit. Oh shit! It just took me off my live stream. What the fuck? Where exactly is that? Here it is. Cause my phone fell off my knee. Like it just fell off. Like it just slipped off my knee, and well, it's like my leg, like between my knee or something, like near it, and like it just slipped off. Like it just fell off my leg. That slipped off. Took off me to process to what word I have to use specifically, but overall, yes, slipped off my leg. But yeah, yeah, without further ado, let's get straight to this shit. But you know what I'm referring to for GT7 overall, like stupid, Plus, it's not even in creation, so things could potentially change once that occurs, It's quite stupid how Google doesn't want to like speak on to the future and just something current. Like that's fucked. I'm looking forward to GT6 though. See me, chat. I was hoping to voice act for it. Like that was my goal for this year, but nah, it's all good. Yeah, apparently, I have to restart.
I wish we could all go on a road trip together.
Road trip? Why bother? It's not like there's anything worth seeing anymore.
Oh, come on. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff to see. Maybe Clem could show us around. You're able to get a car working, and you know how to drive?
Barely.
Come on, Vi. I've never driven in my life, but I'd love to learn.
You sure you trust my driving? I promise I don't usually crash.
Oh, right. On second thought.
Yeah, I think Clem just totaled the last working car in the world. So much for your road trip.
See me, chat.
Are we going to the car? No, bud. It's broken.
She didn't crash. The zombie caused it.
Sick of the car.
Come on, Vi.
I wish this old rust bucket was still working. We could just jump in and start driving. We could take turns sitting in the back. It'd be like driving one of those cars with the top that goes down.
Why exactly will we take turns to sit in the back?
Actually.
But still, it's fun to imagine, isn't it?
See me, chat.
Where would you go, Clem? If you could drive anywhere
Into the
you
cities.
wanted, if gas wasn't an issue.
Or a busted carburetor, or flat tires, or the transmission.
You know, I think I'd drive through the heart of a city. Somewhere big, like New York.
California is bigger, like Los Angeles.
Buildings. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's the biggest city in the world. I'm sure that's nice and safe.
Yeah. In terms of the
I've
zombie
lived
apocalypse.
Here my entire life. Heck, I'd say I know every inch of these woods. I'd kind of like to unknow it.
Nah, you
Why
can't
are you
unknow it.
dreaming of what could be? We've got shit to do.
Yeah, I guess we should get to work on those fish. We got spears inside the shack. Come on.
You go ahead. I'll stay out here.
Excuse me, chat. I have to not blow my nose, obviously. Why would I do that while playing? That's stupid.
Where are those spears?
See me, chat. But I feel like yeah, it was a zombie's fault. But yeah, in the city, you had the lights, which is temporary because they use it so we can be able to see our way around. And then the buildings, like whatever it's overall used for. So that's all I should mention.
About by.
But yeah, that's why I'm gonna be the CEO of Rockstar, so I can create GT7 and beyond GT7. But yeah, GT6 could possibly have kid/child NPCs, like those who are temporarily physically a kid/child within a mortal body, and temporally physically an adolescent within a mortal body, like 10 plus, like just that age and beyond, like those who are preteens and teenagers, like 13 to 19, and then prime adolescents, like from their 20s and beyond, like my age, because I'm considering the fact I'm currently 20 years old chronologically, so Excuse me, chat. Oh, I was wondering if someone chatted, but apparently someone just joined. So, anyway, without further ado, let's get straight to the shit.
I'm sorry she's being mean. It's my fault.
It's not necessarily
What do
his
you
fault,
mean?
like I specifically mentioned.
I was there when those
Well, what Cloud
walkers
specifically mentioned.
killed Sophie and Minnie. They were really close with Vi, and I think she blames me for what happened to them. I mean, how do you even apologize for something that fucked up? I don't know. Maybe I deserve it.
It wasn't your fault. These things happen.
You don't deserve it.
Still,
It's not necessarily
I
your
was
fault.
the one that had to break the news to her. And ever since I did, she's become distant.
Excuse me, chat.
We all used to be friends. Guess I just kind of miss that.
Right?
When you showed up, I don't know. I just haven't seen her warm up to someone in a long time.
Yeah, it's not your fault. She had her reason to be pissed.
I mean,
Like she was shocked or
I
something.
hate to ask this of you, but do you think you could talk to her?
You shouldn't have hate to ask
See
that
how
shit.
she feels? About me? It's just been eating me up inside.
Sure thing, Daddy. I can talk to her.
Really? That's great. Thanks, Clementine.
No problem.
I'm gonna go check our fish traps downstream.
Hey, what the hell is taking you two so long?
See? I'll take this to Vi. There should be some extras lying around.
And after, once we head back, I'm possibly gonna play Ratchet Clank Future Crack in time. Play Walking to Season 4 like next week, you know.
This is cool.
Excuse me, chat.
Edgy.
Yeah, their brain was huge as hell, despite the skull size. Cat skull. Nah, AJ would love it. Nothing is creepy. We're meant to have bones. Pretty sure not like that though. But yeah, it's white because typically dumb bones like disintegrate, unless that's fake. Unless it depends on the environment and like the climate.
Just some old gardening supplies.
Because if you were buried, it would take you a very long while for you to disintegrate. Because like you're buried, and I'm pretty sure insects will have to enter. Or through God Almighty Jesus Christ, it would, because you're dying, you know. Whether you're a sinner, less sanctified, or lowly sanctified. If you're highly sanctified or a virtue like me, considering that, which is very rare to witness someone who's a virtue, because it seems like I'm the only one who's a virtue on YouTube, or in some of my group chats, like my Snapchat group chat and my Facebook group chat, like where I'm without sins, without mistakes, and very righteous in terms of me being a virtue, you know.
Hey, you. What you looking at?
V plus M.
Violet and Minerva. What does that mean?
Oh, Minerva is Minnie. They were wives, but obviously in this game they want you to mention girlfriends.
It means that they were a couple.
What?
Let me check.
Violet was Minnie's girlfriend.
Oh. Love.
More than a girlfriend. But yeah, AJ, love. You know, you're 6, but it will make it like an exception for you, considering the fact that you are quite mentally mature, despite you not being 7. Unless, you never know. Some 6-year-olds are very mentally mature before they're 7, and it's like a miracle through God Almighty Jesus Christ. And not through Satan, obviously. See me, chat?
Cool. Ready to get some fish?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Can I join you?
Sure.
Damn, she's pissed.
Hey, check out these guys over here.
They're swimming against the current.
Guess they don't realize it makes them easier targets. I want to try. Take a spear. Go nuts.
Hell yeah, man. If you got the muscles. Because aren't spears quite heavy? I'm pretty sure they could possibly be.
Go ahead and try. They're not running.
See me, chat. But I prefer using a fishing pole. Or fishing rod, you know. Not fishing pole. Fishing rod. The pole is part of it.
Any luck?
Hell yeah.
Something.
Good enough for me.
Ugh. Seems like a
Hey,
meal. Okay.
Sorry if I was weird last night about the whole room thing.
See me chat.
Seeing someone else in there, it was harder than I expected.
Ah, good.
You'd think I'd be less sentimental by now.
I enjoyed the chat. I love it.
Don't sweat it. I'm glad we got to know each other.
More than just
Yeah.
being friends.
I guess
We're gonna warm up to be wives. I love that music playing. Damn it!
Heads up, guys. The hole's not looking that great.
Yeah, okay. God. Sometimes she just gets on my last nerve. You know?
Hey, come on, come on.
Can tell.
I mean, it's not like I hate her. I just... I wish we could all go on a road trip together. God, she's so... you know?
You act like you hate her.
Damn! Okay. God damn, I gotta release that anger. Fuck yeah!
Looks like they wisened up. Maybe Brody had better luck with the traps.
I got one.
Give me
Clem,
chat.
I got one.
Hell yeah!
Good job.
Oh, were you in a different area, AJ?
You know what the problem is between us? With Brody. I don't know why it's like this. Why is it so weird? I can never relax around her. It just keeps getting worse.
Because you blame her for what happened with the twins.
Well, that's what I used to think. I
Okay.
just keep thinking that things might have ended differently if I was there.
Right?
Maybe I could have protected Soph. And Minnie.
Excuse me, chat. I'm pretty sure it's Tom Marlin.
She wants
That's
to
all I'm
talk
gonna
about
mention.
it, you know.
I feel guilty about the whole thing.
It's all good, man. You made a mistake. You're not
I
fully
was-
perfect. You're half perfect and half imperfect. It's all good,
I was
Violet.
supposed to be out with the twins that day. I wanted to work in the greenhouse, so I asked Brody to cover for me. But then... I didn't even get to say goodbye. I wanted to talk to Brody,
See me,
to
chat.
tell her I didn't blame her for what happened, but every time I tried, I was reminded of who we lost. It was easier to just not talk about it.
Nah, it seems reasonable to chat about it.
We should get going.
You guys catch any fish? We caught some, but not a lot.
I didn't get anything. We should catch up with Lewis and Asim. See if they had any better luck.
It's all good. Oh, a Sim and Lewis? Who knows?
The Grand Canyon.
What?
That's where I'd go. If we took a road trip, start driving until we hit the Grand Canyon.
Oh, hell yeah. I actually love nature. The city is
Yeah.
cool. Like Miami, for example,
would
or
be
LA, but... Or Phoenix, but I prefer Grand Canyon or Las Vegas, you know?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hey, Slowpoke's coming?
Yeah, we're right behind you.
See? That's exactly what I want to do. Stu got my G-Splice. Clem did a great, excellent, amazing job. And without her, nothing would have changed unless someone got it situated. Or if they got it situated together without Clem or whoever, you know? But I feel like with Clem in it, it would be very simple and very, like, you know, lovely. Like
Where are
mesmerizing.
those guys?
Practicing making out with a toothless walker.
Gross.
I know.
Hey, yo.
Poor walker. What the hell?
See me, chat?
What? This isn't normal?
Someone sabotaged this. This isn't good.
Asim? Lewis!
Spread out. See if we can find them.
Watch out for monsters.
Yeah, Brody's gonna potentially turn into one. If you know what I mean, chat. But I love Brody. I'm just saying, like, someone's gonna turn to it, and I'm gonna say, Brody, you'll find out
Empty.
potentially. Ah, my left arm just cracked. Examine cigarette butt. You mean bud?
I guess Asim and Lewis checked this one already. Huh. Bible page?
Give me chat.
Clem, found something.
Bible page. That's very sinful. And that's a cigarette.
Monster.
Cigarettes are sins. Or a sin.
Guys, over here.
And I know who smoked
Well,
it,
we
so.
didn't kill this one. We wouldn't have left it hanging in our trap.
What the hell? Found this too. Do any of the kids smoke?
Nope, nothing to smoke.
Who is this unlucky fella?
Where have you been?
Checking nearby traps. The ones that were sprung were all empty. All the rest are broken.
Someone robbed us?
Oh, great. And now we're gonna starve.
Fuck, that's... Fuck.
Whoa, whoa.
Fuck.
Whoa there, Brody.
Fuck, it's
Excuse me,
okay.
Brody.
It's... Breathe, Brody, come on. Come on, come on, come on.
You're gonna be fine. It's just a panic attack.
Hey, easy. We'll still find enough food to get us through the...
That's not what I'm worried about.
Brody, just chill.
Okay, okay.
I have to tell Marlon about this.
Oh, it's bringing back the memories.
You know, to live, we definitely don't have enough.
Shut the fuck up, Lewis.
You guys figure it out.
No offense. That ain't gonna help someone with who have a panic
I'll
attack.
take this all back to school. Maybe we can ration out something.
So what do? Eat rocks?
You can't eat rocks.
I'm aware.
Will Marlon kick us out if we don't?
No! Come on, that'll be fucked up.
Let's not find out.
Where else could we look?
Let me think.
Give me chat. Well, it seems we're gonna have to head to the train station.
The train station. It's not too far from here.
Maybe, but it's outside the safe zone.
Oh, who gives a
There
fuck
was
about
food in
it?
there when AJ and I passed through. It's worth a look.
You
Hell
sure
yeah.
there was food?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, some of it was destroyed in the explosion, but there has to be something left. There was so much there.
Pretty sure
Or
someone
we could starve.
planned an explosion.
Fine. Let's go.
Fine, let's go. Come on, Violet, be a woman. Don't be a pussy. But, chat, I know I mentioned I want to continue more. Well, I actually didn't mention it. Took off the process to think of whether I mentioned it or not. But, I'm gonna end it right here. If you want to see more of me playing The Walking Dead Season 4, which is not necessarily a typical playthrough, be sure to leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I'm gonna end it right here and play it next week. Take it easy, chat. Yeah, but otherwise, I'm gonna end it right here. Take it easy, chat.